I've struggled a lot when it came to starting. I've tried to have a YouTube channel for the past 5 years. And in the last 5 years, I've already started a channel twice, and then I've deleted all the videos or unlisted them. But 5 years ago, I remember I wanted to start this channel, like this reaction type channel. And I told my father, like, I need a camera, I need a tripod. So he said, just record with your phone. He bought me this tripod that I have right now. And after I had the tripod, I thought to myself, yeah, I need a mic. After that, he bought me a mic. After that, I needed to have a cool setup and background, which I couldn't. And I thought to myself, yeah, we're moving out, because we were moving out at the time, to another like apartment. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna start making videos once I'm there. Because at the time I wanted to become a YouTuber, and I had transitioned from like going to like trying to become a footballer to becoming a YouTuber. And it's so interesting to me that for 2 to 3 years I did not start a channel after even moving to the next apartment, because I was constantly inside of this mindset of, yes, I need this, I need that, I need this thing that will actually solve my problem, when it was just all procrastination. And this morning when I woke up, I looked at my checklist, I looked at my like calendar, my morning routine, and I was like, yeah, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I can't I can't look like, because the sun is shining, but it's beautiful nature, right? I told myself, yeah, I can't handle all of this. All these tasks. I got an appointment today for the doctor for my teeth. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta record this video. I gotta do my steps. I gotta record 2 reels. I gotta make the stories to like document my journey right now. If you don't know who I am, I'm a Stacey All, and I'm documenting my journey to like 10% body fat. And it's so interesting how my mind just reverted back to the thought of like, yeah, I gotta skip these activities. When, at first, it was like, yeah, I have to skip these activities. But after a moment of thinking, I thought to myself, like, what if I just started? What if I just started the morning routine? What if I just started it? So you know what I did? I just did it. I just did it, man. I weighed myself. I made my bed. I made the story. I did like a questionnaires for like this license thing that I'm doing right now, car license. I'm gonna be honest, I skipped like reading 2 pages of the Quran. I should have done that. Bad on me, like, you know. But I still showed up when I didn't even want to like start it, because I was thinking, yeah, I have to go out and I have to record this video first, and then afterwards I'm gonna do the morning routine. No, I told myself, no, I'm gonna do it now. And I uploaded 3 stories to Instagram to like document. In the past 2 months, the only way that I've been able to make progress and lose like 17 pounds of body weight is just by starting. Starting regardless of how I feel. Starting even though I don't have a clue of how I'm gonna do it. Starting even though I feel nervous. Starting even though I feel scared. I've just started it and to do it anyway, without thinking I need a Gymshark hoodie or a Gymshark t-shirt in order to make fitness videos on the internet, or the fact that I need like this high quality, like, for example, I need a Osmo Pocket 3 to like document and vlog my videos, my life, you know. These been all of like the thoughts that I've been having. Like I even bought a new phone for this channel. And this pattern kept like reoccurring in my life for the past years. And it's been a very big mistake that I've been making. 3 or 4 months ago I was crippled by inaction, by procrastination, by sitting down and doing the easy task, by making the vision boards, by making all of these things that are easy to do in the short term, but in the long run make you understand that you're nothing but a loser. You know, making vision boards, what does that even do? You know, just mental masturbation. Yesterday it came to my mind, and I thought to myself, like, I'm so grateful that I started this, YouTube channel, that I started making videos, because how are you going to evaluate what you should do, or how are you even going to learn anything if you haven't even started? You know what I mean? How is that even possible? This is why the thought of going to college is so like bad to me. Like, you can go to college, do whatever you want, you know, but for me personally, it's just like going to a place where you're going to be sitting down for 4 years straight doing nothing but learning. That just like feels like hell to me, you know what I mean? Just doing nothing. Because 3 months ago, when I was inside of that period of like learning and trying to learn how to make videos and watching all these videos, like all these YouTubers watching all these like videos on learning how to do something, I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't doing anything. And everybody knew my life. Like, everybody in my life, my sister, my parents, they knew what I was doing. They knew I was procrastinating. They knew I wasn't working. I was just locking myself inside of my room and pretending to do real work when I wasn't doing anything. You know, I wasn't documenting my journey. I wasn't providing hope to people. I wasn't, by like showing up, I wasn't doing anything. And that showed. 3 months of the year were just gone like that. Just like that. It just passed away. You know, from May onwards till August, end of August, it just passed away like it was nothing. And that's made me realize right now, that's how like most people are operating, you know, and that's how they realize, like, oh, the entire year has gone by. Of course the entire year has gone by, man. Of course it has. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything. Hi. And I'm struggling with it even now. Even now I struggle with it. Like, I can't come here and talk inside of this video like an authority figure, you know. I'm not an authority figure. I don't have a six-pack yet. I'm still in the process of doing that, but I'm not qualified really to speak on that. All I can speak about is all the mistakes that I've done and all the learning lessons that I've learned as of now by taking action. And what I have learned, even in the past like week of documenting my journey, is to just start without even thinking about it. When I'm making a story, there's so many thoughts inside of my head where I'm like, yeah, this people are gonna think this is awkward. People are gonna think I'm cringe for this, you know. Even uploading this video, whatever. Like, my perfectionist mind comes in when I'm trying to do everything, and I'm like, yeah, this doesn't work. Oh no, I made a mistake right there. I should cut that. I shouldn't post that. I should do something else. But it was all so simple from the beginning. It was just making a story, speaking your mind, documenting what you're thinking, and just posting it and putting it in front of the world and not caring what the people think. From the beginning, that was the entire point of doing that. Just to leave a footprint of all of the thoughts and struggles and wins that I had over the journey. But that thought just kept me like not posting. And most people think it's not that deep. Yeah, that's the lesson. The lesson is it's not that deep. You know, it's all inside of your head. But I know that there's probably a lot of people that are struggling with the same thing, cuz I've literally had like how I know people are struggling with this is because I've literally had people in my own life like criticize me posting my own like first video, and I love that they give me feedback and stuff like that. But this just shows, how people want everything to be perfect. They just want everything to be like perfect. They want the reels to be perfect. They want the stories to be perfect. They want the videos to be perfect. When perfect is like, it's very bland. You know what I mean? I had this thought yesterday. A blank canvas is perfect if you think about it. It's perfect. It has nothing on it. It's just a square, like, white thing. That's it. It has nothing on it. It is perfect by definition. Not a single painting in the world is perfect. Let me tell you that. Alright? No painting in the world is perfect. There's always going to be mistakes. And the only one who knows what the mistakes are is the painter. Alright? He's the only one who understands his own mistakes more than anyone. His own, like, failures where he made this brush stroke wrong, where he could have done more, where he could have made it, like, make this tree here more realistic or whatever, No one cares. No one else cares. It's just you deep inside of your own head. That's it. It's not that big. Like the progress that I've made right now, it's not that. It might not come off as like very big to other people, but it's very, very surprising for myself. Cause I got overweight because I got overweight like in the last like 1.5 years, in like March of 2024, whilst I was doing this like appointment setting thing, and I was taking like sales calls, 5 to 6, 7, 8 sales calls every single day. So I was very stressed. But later on, I would use an excuse of like, yeah, I got fat because I used to be stressed in that time, and to cope with that is because of the job, is because of working hard. No, it's not about working hard. It was not about working hard. It was about me trying to cope with that stress. Trying to find like making food the escape. That was all there was to it. Food being my cope. Movies being my cope. There's always outlets in our lives. There's always something we try to make our life less stressful with. And I chose junk food and sugar and movies as like a combination together, and video games just at the same time, like playing video games, and on top of that watching a movie, and on top of that eating a junk food. That was the cycle, and every night I would repeat that cycle, and the action, which was repeated over like 2 months, and like binge eating a lot. Like I was very sad at the time. I was like depressed, very depressed at the time, cause food was my vice. I'm a Muslim. I don't have many vices. Food is my only vice, or junk food or sugar is my only vice. And that's what I told myself. Literally, that's what I told myself. It's such a stupid thing that I literally told myself, yeah, food is my vice. And I started to like binge eat further and further. There's always these like BS reasons that we tell ourselves of why we're doing something wrong. And that was my thing. And also this very like stupid thing of when I was like watching this anime called Dead Note at the time. I was rewatching it for like second, third time. And inside of the show, the character, like, I think it's the antagonist or something, right? He is L, for example. He eats a lot of sweets, and he says, yeah, it makes me sharper, or like it makes me smarter, or whatever. I think it says that inside of the movie. But I literally use that inside of my subconscious head as, yeah, I'm gonna become smart if I eat like junk food. Like it's dumb shit like that, dumb stuff that makes us think, yeah, we're doing the right thing. But in the end, I got fat. I got very fat. And I did not realize the bullshit that I was doing until one day I went to a clothing store to buy some clothes. And inside of the changing room, when I was changing my clothes, I took my shirt off and I looked at myself. And in the past, I've always been insecure when I've gone into these like clothing like stores, because I've always been like bulking, dirty bulking. So on top of the dirty bulking, when I ate all of that junk food for like 2 to 3 months, I became the most overweight that I've ever become. And I took this photo of myself. And still when I look at that photo, I feel the same things that I felt that day. It was immense shame. I felt so much shame, so much sadness when I looked at myself in the mirror. You can't even believe it, because I was on my fitness journey for about seriously on my fitness journey for about 1 to 2 years. And I was dirty bulking. I was going to the gym consistently, but I was dirty bulking. And I was thinking to myself, what have I done to myself, What has happened to myself? How did I let myself become like this? And it was just that sadness, that emotion, that immense emotion that made me also go extreme when I started the journey of weight loss. I started and I tried to do everything at once. I tried to do 20k steps. I tried to be in a immense calorie deficit, and within 2 weeks or 3 weeks I had my first failure, and then I kept failing and restarting the process. And that took me over an entire span of 1.5 years of just messing around, literally not doing anything, just being in this cycle of not believing it will happen. So that's why the progress that I've made till now is very, very important to me, because I've never been at this weight before since I've started weight loss. I've never been in this weight. I've never been at 160.4. I would always get stuck, I was 183 pounds, and beginning of 2024 when I got fat. And then I always come back to 165, and then I'd always keep gaining it back going back to 180 and then going back to 165. I was, for this entire 1.5 years, I was inside of this period of 180 till 165, literally. And time flies by so fast, you don't even realize it when you don't take action. That's why just starting and embracing imperfection and not thinking about what you're gonna do but just like showing up and doing the bare minimum and being consistent 70% of the time is enough. Don't let all these people in your life who have programmed you into becoming perfectionists. There's someone in your life that's constantly criticizing you, constantly telling you, no, it should be done this way. Look at that person and think, what has this person achieved in their life? Do I want to be like this person? If not, do not take their advice. Please do not take their advice. I do the same thing with all the people that keep telling me, yeah, do this, do that, do this. I look at their situation, I look at the way that they're living life, I look at their physique, and I think, do I want to be like this guy? Has this guy even made any progress in the past 6 months? If not, I'm not going to take their advice. Follow your own path, forge your own path by actually not thinking and just letting go. In the movie Fight Club, there's a big lesson, which is just letting go and embracing the imperfection. The protagonist, he tries to be this perfect figure, and he has all these furniture and all these things inside of his home, and it gets all blown up, and he's left with nothing. And the lesson inside of it is I think it was what you own starts owning you, something like that. And that's very true. That's very true. If you're on the same journey as me, if you are trying to lose weight and you have failed many, many times before in the past, understand that it's still possible. Alright? It's still possible. You can just show up every single day, be a retard, and still have small wins in your own way. And I showcase that inside of my own life. And on my Instagram, for example, I post daily stories of me going to the gym, doing the steps. If I fail, I show it. If I don't go to the gym, I make a story about it. If I go to the gym, I make a story about it. If I am struggling, I make a story about it. Because that's the real path. All these standards that we've set for ourselves of achieving the goal in the next 2 months, 3 months, is just false. All these Instagram edits of, I lost that weight in 3 months or whatever. It's just for most people, it's not going to be the case, man. That's not going to be the case. Probably going to take them longer, man. Let it take longer. Let it become a lifestyle. Embrace it taking longer, because you're going to remember it inside of your head. The struggles and the hardest parts of your life build the most meaningful memories inside of your head. If I ask you, what has been the hardest thing you've ever went through in your life, you probably have a memory, but it's probably not that many, that many hard parts. That's why you look the way you look. And I'm saying this to myself. If I had harder shit that I went through, I'd probably have a better physique. I'd probably have more success in my life. It's always about just embracing the hard things in life, man. Anyways, I've been yapping for 30 minutes or something, 20, 30 minutes. I don't know if it's been 40 minutes. But I hope this video has helped you to change your mind when it comes to removing perfection, this perfectionist mindset from your life. If you want more from me, if you want to follow my path where I show my struggles and everything, you can check out my Instagram, you know. And if you want more value from me, you can check out the other video, the first video that I made on my channel. It doesn't have that many edits, doesn't have that many cuts, you know. It's very raw, very authentic. That's how I like to keep it from now on. And yeah, that's it, man. Peace. I'll see you in the next video.